What is going on, guys? I wasn't gonna make a video today, but check this out. Right now it's about what, 90 something degrees, but in here though it is over 100. There's actually a huge heat wave going on right now, and I had to prepare my tanks and my garage in a particular way. So the first thing I did was add fans to my tanks right there and then right there. Went ahead and removed all of the lids off of the tanks right here and right here, and then also removed all the lids on the sump right there. So after doing as much as I can for the tanks themselves, I went ahead and prepared the environment. So what I did was went ahead and opened this huge window right here, which is never open. Went ahead and cracked open the garage right there, and then kept that window open and that door open. So that's a lot of airflow in the garage, so hopefully that will cool down the tanks drastically. Where is the thermometer? Oh, there it is. I couldn't grab the thermometer, but as you can see, they're about 80 degrees, which is kind of hot for goldfish, but they'll be fine. Over the past week, I noticed that one of my datnoids had this weird bump on their throat, and I did notice that whenever it ate, it wasn't snapping at food as like a normal datnoid would. Whenever datnoids strike food at the surface or smash pellets or something, they're gonna extract their mouth, grab the pellet, and retract back in. That makes a really loud snap noise, and the datnoid didn't do that. A couple days later, he ended up passing, and this is what I saw.
Who's dead? Which one's dead?
In the corner.
Oh.
He dead?
Yeah.
He's dead?
Oh my gosh, the little tiger fish.
I know. Honestly, if it was any of these bikers that attacked that datnoid, that thing would have been ripped to shreds and it would have been done. So I honestly have no idea how this thing died. It didn't die from hunger because it was eating. But yeah, one day I came out and I noticed that the mouth was kind of messed up. Just like one day I came out and I noticed that the datnoid was dead. This is a very similar situation to what happened with my Pyara. So the Pyara had a big like dent on its snout, so I knew that it ran into the wall and caused concussion. And this one right here, I know it's a throat problem, but I don't know if the bikers attacked it. And I checked his mouth and nothing was in there, so he didn't choke on anything. So yeah, that's the weird thing. But the good news is I still have two datnoids, one inside and then one right here. Hopefully you guys can see him, he's kind of hiding. And yeah, hopefully this one will grow out and pretty much take over this tank. I know this datnoid is going to be pretty big, and 3 of these 5 bikers are going to get pretty big too. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the rest of the space for them to grow out. My main focus is finding a ranchu for this tank right here. So currently it's just my Aranda and fantail, as you can see. Right there in a 40-gallon breeder. I have a lot of space in this tank for just these 2, so I'm planning on adding 1 more goldfish. I think 3 goldfish in a 40B is good enough, but I do a lot of water changes for these guys, and yeah, this should be okay. Yeah, look at all that room right there. I went ahead and added some more plants in there, and I'm letting the algae grow at the bottom because I seen this video of this goldfish munching on a whole bunch of algae that was on the bottom of someone's tank, and it looks sick. And hopefully I can grow like a Rachel O'Leary style algae on the bottom of this tank, and it'll look like grass. So that's the main goal right here. So for this planted tank, I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. Currently I'm just using the plants to help filter the biker tank. So fish stocking wise, it's just the ember tetras, the half beak, and I think that's it for this tank. Oh, and a whole bunch of shrimps in here. I was thinking about adding exodons in this little area because technically this is 18 by 18 by 18 cube, and there's a lot of cover, so I could get away with adding some exodons in here, maybe like 7, 8 exodons, but it's just an idea. I was planning on giving you guys updates on my bikers, but I'm gonna go ahead and wait until another day because check it out. It's still 100 something degrees in here, and yeah, I'm sweating my ass off. So let's go ahead and cut the camera and come back when it's a little cooler. So recording in the garage is pretty much a no-go. It's about 100 degrees in there, and for me at that point, if I'm filming in there, it's bad. I'm literally breaking a sweat, and it's not a good look on the camera. So what I went ahead and did is recorded some B-roll of the bikers themselves, and we're pretty much just gonna go over the footage here in the comfort of the house. So if you haven't seen my channel before, let me go and give you guys a breakdown. It's about a 110-gallon tank. It has a 40-gallon B as a sump, half filled with K1 and half filled with plants. There's 5 bikers in here total. 2 of them are Enleys, and then 3 of them are Laps. 2 of the Laps are captive bred, and 1 is, I believe, to be wild caught. And I think the wild caught is like a cobia species or something, Hoblia or whatever. So the two Enleys I believe are captive bred just because of their snout being a little bit pushed in. The head's not as flat as, I don't know, let's say like my wild caught or something. So I have a lot of belief that these two are captive bred. If they are captive bred, then their max size should be around 19 or 18 inches or so. If they're wild caught, on the other hand, they're going to be huge, and they would have outgrown my tank like a long time ago. Now, two of the laps in this tank I know for sure are captive bred just because, again, the face is kind of pushed in. One of them is almost a runt, pretty much. Its growth was really slow from the beginning, and the growth of this one just never took off like the others. The second captive bred lap isn't as small, but it's not grown as fast as my Enleys or my wild caught lap. It's still captive bred type of size, and I think it should max out about like 15 or 16 inches. That's captive bred though. If it's a wild caught, it should be really big. So coming back to this wild caught right here, this guy should be 24 inches max. It should outgrow the two Enleys, but I went ahead and posted this on the forums and I got kind of mixed results. So one of the MFK guys commented on my thread saying that this is a wild caught, but then a couple minutes later he came back and said that, oh, this is a captive bred. Other people were saying it's wild caught, and I had mixed results. Based off of my best understanding of these guys, the head shape kind of shows that it is a wild caught, but at this point I hope that it's captive bred so it doesn't outgrow my tank. If it's a true wild caught, then it's going to outgrow my tank, and then if it outgrows my tank, then I have to rehome them, and then that's going to suck because this is one of my favorite laps. If it does outgrow my tank, I will rehome it. So if you're in the NorCal area and you're looking for bikers later on, just, I don't know, remember this YouTube channel and hit me up later. Anyways, these guys are growing pretty well. So my biggest Enley is around 15-ish, 16-ish inches. And then my second biggest Enley is around 14. And then my wild caught lap is around the same size as the second Enley. And then the two CB laps are around 10 to 11 inches or so. The two Enleys grew extremely fast. They only didn't grow long, they grew really thick too. You can see like the development of their back is huge. It looks freaking tight. And then the wild caught lap, you can tell like his head shape and his kind of like upper back, it just grew really nicely. The CB laps still kind of look the same. They don't look as aggressive as the other three, but I still love them either way. The good thing about this group right here is they don't fight. There's no issues, no territorial issues. These guys all live in harmony and they're all good. And before they were really scared to eat in like daytime and stuff, but now they'll eat in the light. As you can see from my last video, they would have much rather eat in super bright lights compared to my spotlight that I'm actually using as a camera light right there. And I'm actually really glad that these guys got used to the light, because before they would dog pile up and get really skittish and nervous and all that stuff and spaz out. Nowadays they all just park up together or either park up in their little sections and they just kind of chill all day. So the only fish in this tank that's not chill with this setup right here or the light or whatever is the Datnoid. The last Datnoid in this tank hates this light. I do want to grow this Datnoid out in this tank because if it was in the other tank, it would have got picked on by the other Datnoid. There's not as much room to kind of like swim around and stuff. So I'm in a predicament where I don't know if I want to put this Datnoid back into the big tank. Maybe swap Datnoids, put the inside Datnoid to the outside and the outside in the inside. I did have a comment in my other videos saying that when I moved the Datnoids back into the biker tank, they were kind of too young. I did notice some aggression between the Datnoid that passed and the Datnoid that's still alive. So maybe it was stressed out from the one that passed. Maybe they fought and this one killed the other one. I'm not too sure. I'm thinking that maybe it'll starting to lighten up. It'll start to be more comfortable roaming around knowing that the other Datnoid's not here. So all it is time. I'm just going to wait it out and let the Datnoid get used to its new environment that he's going to run, and hopefully everything is good. So I don't think I'm going to be adding any more fish in the biker tank. I know that Datnoid is going to be the centerpiece fish. So the main goal is just having one nicely sized Datnoid and then the 5 bikers at the bottom. So that's it for today's video. I just wanted to give you guys an update on my biker tank, what happened with my Datnoid, and future plans for that system. Being that that project is my main project for this channel, it's only right that I give you guys updates on this one right here. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next one, and peace guys.